Hello and welcome back to Dreambound. After last time I noted down all the hints and puzzles on a piece of paper just to visualize everything and just have a little think, and doing that I noticed that I misread these numbers. So initially I thought this was a 23, but looking at it again to note it down, it's a 28. So at first it didn't help me much, but eventually I noticed that if you look at the individual digits here, it is 1, 2, 3, 4, but also 5, 6, 7, 8. So maybe that's the solution to that box, because if you look at it here, you only have 4 buttons. So you would think, or at least I thought, you would only have to press each of them once. So you only need like a 4-number combination. But yeah, I think, well, that's my only guess basically, okay? So yeah, as I said, I still have this noted down. So if I go by the numbers on the wall with the single digits, it is 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, 6, 7, 8. Ah! There we have it! Some progress. Ooh. Are you okay? I'm fine. It just shocked me a little. Like, literally? Let me take over. Okay, thank you. It's fine, I've got this. Okay. Oh, so that wasn't it. Damn it. What? Okay, that's frustrating. Wait. Wow, the cursor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Did I not do it? Wait, but what else is there? What else is there to it? We just have these 4, and I would assume it's the same order as the digits written on the wall, because yeah, how else would I have a clue about that unless... Wait, how did it... That's how it went. Unless it had more to do with this? But I don't think so. I still think this has more to do with this box right here, because it's about times. What? You're joking. I thought I had it. Did I do it wrong? Wait. But I mean, okay, so... Oh, that's not where I wanted to click, I'm sorry. So... It definitely needs to be like 8 in total, because then that was when we got a reaction out of this thing. We already tried combining everything, right? It's just a hunch, but I feel like these numbers are related to the ones on the schedule. That's what he said, but I don't know how. Yeah, you think how? Like how does that make sense? 50. Oh, we're still talking about the order, because How? This is really hard. Or, yeah, again, maybe I'm just too stupid and don't see the obvious. But, like, the numbers are completely different. We also can't do this, right? This must be... Yeah, you're saying everything is connected. So... Really? So, I mean, these are also single digits. They're not the same as this one. What? 7 to 1. This in itself is also very confusing to me. Like, even if it was a clue for this box, which I assumed. Like, I also almost think this coffee stain or whatever is a hint that it's related to the moon and the sun, but that might be overthinking. But it doesn't even like tell us like AM or PM, which, if you're looking at it in a sense of like on a clock, on an analog clock, it doesn't matter. But it still doesn't make sense with this puzzle. It's following the letters. Kane stared down at the piece of paper in his hands, his eyes following the letters closely. It's so strange, isn't it? What is? These names, these people. Ah, that's... Yeah, we had that before. Seen anyone you know here? Yeah, we had this conversation before. That's fine. I'm so sorry, these controls. I totally forgot all of that. I wanted to look at this again. So, if we think, I mean, we're missing a button here anyway, but if we think that this puzzle has to do with a schedule, which I would think, we only have these options of settings, right? So, if we're thinking of it as a clock, yeah, we only have like 4 options here. And the time ranges on the schedule don't necessarily match up with this. Like, there is one option that is from 1 to 7. So how am I supposed to know if it's more like this or this? You know? So it might not be connected, but the connection between the schedule and the numbers on the wall are even more obscure to me. How? Just how? Like, are we also supposed to view this as a clock? But then again, it doesn't make any sense. I don't really get it. Let me just try once more, because I'm kind of afraid that I just clicked wrong. So my thought was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, it doesn't work. Yeah, we might need a hint soon, but I don't know. It must be possible to work it out. So we have 4 here. If it's supposed to be the order of the numbers, would? I mean, there's no 3, 5, 3 or 5 here. So that already has me confused, how it relates to this, you know? The difference is also similar, so this is like 6 hours, 4 hours, 4 hours, 6 hours, right? I was also thinking about how the number of letters for the names, if they come into play or anything, but it doesn't make sense either because they're not all different. 4 to 8. Or is it like switching? Switching the 7 for the 1? What? Wait. Is it more of a the 7 is the 1, like? No, that doesn't make sense because 4 and 8. No, maybe you don't get what I'm thinking, but I don't think it makes sense anyway. This must be frustrating to watch if you know the solution. And I'm sorry, but yeah, I would love to get this by myself. 2 to 6. Yeah, the 7 to 1 and 1 to 7 is what kind of confused me as well. Does it mean that one number is the other or not? So 7. Oh, this makes my brain hurt. What? Seven is 1, 1 is 7. So if the numbers on the wall are maybe just the order. See, this is confusing because there is nothing on these buttons, right? So you would think you only need the correct order, but if we have like a code, I cannot really explain what I mean, I think, but if you have a code but one number equals another number, that kind of thing, but you don't have any numbers on here, and it's just, oh god. Oof. So if 7 is 1, what? Yeah, so if the wall scribblings was just the order, but we still needed to input numbers, basically, that's maybe then that would make sense, but we just have to press them in the right order, so... But 1... But if you're changing the order, it gets just hella confusing. That's where it's at. And I'm wondering how much the hint would even help me if I'm at this stage. I'm still just staring at the piece of paper I have here with all the things written down. So if 1 is 7, 7 is 1, then we need to start here? And then 2 is 6, so 6 is... What? But 3 we don't have. That's what I'm saying. How can I use the schedule clue with this if there's not even all numbers? I don't know. That doesn't make sense, and I still wish they'd just empty out the bucket and get what's in there. Yeah, this doesn't make sense to work with until we have the button, I'm sure. Which you'll probably get out of this box. Okay, I think I'm just biting the bullet and looking at the hint. The code to unlock the box is 8 digits long. Click the hint button again for another hint. Okay, thank you. I got that far. I mean, at least it's like stages of hints. I like that. So 8. Wait. 8 digits. So the schedule has 8 digits. And it doesn't have the 3 and the 5, but it doesn't mean that we have to necessarily use the 3 and the 5, right? Maybe we don't need all the buttons? So here's the question, is it the correct order already with the schedule? So if the wall numbers just show me, like this is a 1 and a 5, this is a 2 and a 8, and so forth, but I just need to use the numbers from the schedule. So schedule says 7, this is a 7 according to the wall, then a 1, like this, do you know what I mean? Then a 4, that would be this one, an 8 is this. 2 is also this. 6 is this. A 1 and a 7. Oh! I made it! Oh my gosh, okay, that... I didn't think this was easy, okay? Maybe... Yeah, you just need the right connection in your brain. Oh my gosh, okay. Okay, I got it eventually. The box in Noah's hand dinged lightly before the box opened, revealing what was inside. A key? A key. This is too easy though. Way too easy. I mean, I don't mind easy, to be honest. What do you mean? Noah stared at it, untrusting. Seriously, sometimes things can just be easy. Come on, this is something to celebrate about. I guess so. Fine, let's try it out. A sigh escaped Noah's lips as he rubbed the back of his neck, eyes darting away from Cain. Is something wrong? No, nothing's wrong, it's just... Yeah, it doesn't matter. Don't leave me hanging like that. Thanks for being here, I guess. A look of surprise crossed Cain's face at Noah's honest words. Well, it's not like I had much choice, but I'd come with you any time. I'd just rather never come back here, to be honest. Yeah, me too. I think this is probably the most you've spoken to me in years, you know. Sorry. Okay. We got there eventually. Okay, then it was true what Noah said, that all of these clues are connected. Thank you for that. I didn't believe him. Sorry for doubting you. Okay, so we have a key. Let me look at it. A silver key found in a strange box. There are no engravings upon its surface. The only noticeable quality is how shiny the metal looks. Okay. Oh right, we still have the drawer to be opened, right? Let's try. The key slipped in with a soft click before opening. Maybe I should have tried it with the lock first to get some extra dialogue, but okay. Of course it opens the drawer. Maybe there'll be another key inside? Only one way to find out. With a creaking, hollow sound, the drawer opened. The inside was bare, except for... gloves, really? What is it? Well... Kane scratched at his face awkwardly, his gaze facing away. Noah followed his line of sight until it landed on something he wanted to ignore. Fantastic. Wait, what's that? Looking down, Noah noticed something else. Something scratched into the wood. Let's take a closer look at that. Okay, so we have gloves, and I think I know what we're going to do with the gloves. Thankfully. Gloves found within the locked bedside table. They seem to be unused. Well, that's something. And can we look at the scratching now? Ah. What do you think this is supposed to mean? Well, that's a good question. Well, whether we can work it out right now or not, I think this is probably important. Helpful. Excuse you. Trying my best here. Okay, so we can only look at it like this, yeah? I mean, I would assume this is now for this other box. So is it 1, 2, 3, 4 with the buttons? Oh dear. I might have to note that down, just... yeah. So I think it will be easier. Just 1 second. And the... okay. Okay. Then, well, first of all, can I still try the key with the... wrong button. The key with the lock. Noah and Kane rushed towards the locked door, their palms sweaty. Noah raised the key towards the keyhole, his hand shaking. Damn it. What kind of sick joke is it to imagine a key in a locked room that doesn't unlock the door? I knew it couldn't be this easy. Fuck. After all this time, he's still messing up my life. Don't panic yet. Okay, we'll be alright. There'll be another way out. I'm sure of it. I wish I could share your optimism. Leave it to me. I've always been the brighter one out of the two of us anyway. You just stay over there in your pessimist corner, alright? A shuffling sound came from behind the two figures. They both turned in surprise. The man chained to the ground looked up for the first time since they'd arrived. He stared directly at Noah, his gaze unwavering. His eyes were red and swollen. Just looking at him filled one with an undeserved sense of guilt. Noah. Noah. Huh? What do you want? I've wanted to talk to you all this time. Mid-sentence, the tears began to run down his face again. His voice was fractured and broken, a reflection of the man he had become. Don't pay too much attention to him. He's a little off right now. There's nothing for us to talk about anyway. It wasn't me. Okay. Yeah, that's the thing. That's why you always want to check out the quote-unquote wrong options here, yeah? Some extra content. Okay. Now, let us take the gloves and look at the bucket. I can't believe I'm doing that. This. The offer still stands if you want me to give it a go instead. No. I can at least do this much for myself. There is nothing wrong with depending on me. With a slight frown, Noah discarded any response he had for Cain and dipped his hand into the bucket. So? Slowly, as if he was scared to find out exactly what he'd just grabbed hold of, he pulled the object into sight. A bottle. The glass was darkened and dirty, hiding whatever was inside of it. Cain leaned in close as the cork was removed. Noah flipped the bottle over, letting the contents fall onto the rock ground with a clack. Facing upwards from the ground was a tiny hexagon with a crescent moon design. Not what I was expecting, honestly. Well, but what I was expecting, I was confused for a moment that it would be a bottle, like that there would be an extra step in between, so yeah. This better have been worth sticking my hand in that filth for. That bucket was only used for a ceiling leak. It's just been sitting there for a while. Looks like you got all worked up for nothing, eh? Can we look at it again? Okay, no. Same as before. So now we have the hexagon. A hexagon-shaped item with a moon symbol on its surface. It seems to have a small hole in the back. Okay, we're going to put that on the box. The puzzle piece locked into place alongside the others, waiting to be turned. Well, that's that fixed. Okay, so... yeah, I noted on the arrows from before, so I would think we need to use them here. So it was twice left here. Twice right for this one. Here's once left and then twice right. And then 3 times right here. Is that a good arrow or a bad arrow? The 4 buttons locked in place with a click. Okay, that was easy enough. Kane and Noah leaned over it, waiting for something to happen. It's not really as satisfying as that other puzzle, is it? Because it's easier? Maybe if it made a noise. Well, it doesn't matter. Let's just see what's inside this thing. A candle? Interesting. Noah froze in place. That voice. That same voice. It never changed. Noah, you don't have to talk to him if you don't want to. I don't have much choice if I want to get out of here. What is it? I didn't mean to. All this time, I just wanted to see you again. Well, here I am, and this means nothing because this isn't really you. You're acting sorry for yourself, that's all. Do you think you're the victim here? Do you think I have to forgive you just because you want me to? No, I'd rather you sit there and feel sorry for yourself. Don't bother talking to me unless you're going to help us leave. Well, that's harsh. Okay, what did we get? The candle. An unlit candle waiting to find its flame. The wick is unused. Okay, well... We don't have any matches or anything, right? So... Can we just... Like, is this a candle or is it an electric light? The man chained to the wall shuffled in place. Metal scraped against stone, a sound so jarring and discomforting that Kane couldn't help but shift from foot to foot. As Noah turned towards the sound, a scene came to mind. Outside, the sun high in the sky, someone stood at the front of a classroom, writing something on a whiteboard. He tapped his pen against the desk at the teacher's voice. As the teacher's voice became background noise, he glanced to the side. A boy with blonde hair and round glasses glanced back at him, then smiled. The scene fell away into nothingness. And in its place was his childhood teacher, huddled on the floor, completely alone. Noah turned away from the shell of a man and to the bedside table. On it, bolted down, was a small lantern. He quickly dipped his candle into it, lighting the wick immediately. The flame flickered from side to side. Noah's breath caught in his throat. Freedom. Okay, now we have a lit candle. A lit candle finally found its flame. It looks like freedom. Okay, but what are we going to do with it? Are we going to set something alight, or... Because most of what we have here is like metal and... Or... Wait, were the keys connected to like a string or something? Was that it? Can we just use the candle with anything else? Just for some words? Noah and Kane walked around the bed, their eyes wandering over the room. No, it's just... Is it the same dialogue as from before? Cold, unfriendly, the aura of a space for those that were just waiting for death to come. No, it's... I don't think so. Don't want to put it out, so... yeah, I'll just try it with a bars, I guess? This is it. What is what? What are you doing? This is our only choice. Look. Noah pointed towards the key, which hung from a thin rope that fell to the stone ground. Around it, some kind of dark liquid. You're going to bet everything on throwing a candle towards a rope? Don't you think that looks like oil? If it catches fire and the key drops to the ground, we should be able to reach it. Right. Alright, I trust you. Let's do this. Noah swallowed hard. Calming his shaking hand, he held tight to the lit candle, sizing up just how far he had to throw it. And... there. Gently, as to not put it out before it even reached the rope, Noah tossed it towards the key. In an instant, the puddle of oil went up in flames, and the rope quickly followed suit. Moments later, the key fell to the stone floor with a clang, almost bouncing towards Noah. He reached between the bars as far as he could, to the point where his shoulder ached from being pressed into the hard metal. And finally, it was in his grasp. A key, made of a dark rusted metal, set against his palm. He clutched it to his chest. Yes! You got it? As he stood from the ground, Cain wrapped an arm over Noah's shoulders, pulling him close and almost ruffling his hair. I never doubted you for a second. Bullshit. Hey, get off of me. Something about the scene playing out in a dimly lit, dirty prison inside a dream made Noah feel nostalgic. Like nothing had ever changed. Like he was a school kid with all the hope of the future ahead of him. A smile fell from his face as the weight of the future, of his present, suddenly weighed on him. This feeling, this nostalgia, how could he feel it? How could he dare to feel it? To feel happiness? He pulled away from Cain and brushed his clothes off. Come on, I'll unlock his chains. Cain, who was smiling alongside Noah, also paused in his excitement. He scratched the back of his head, as if embarrassed for his sudden outburst. Right. That's why we're here anyway. It's time to go, Mr. Floyd. Can I really leave? Noah knelt down and quickly unlocked the chains that held the man down. His wrists were bloody and bruised. Yes, it's time to leave. For reasons unknown to even himself, Noah reached out to help his old teacher up from the ground. Mr. Floyd's face was filled with emotions, none of which seemed to win over the others. His mouth opened and closed, then opened and closed once again. He had something to say. He had many things to say. But nothing escaped his lips. Noah turned his back to the man and walked back towards the locked door. The key slid effortlessly into the lock, and the door opened. At the same time, the world began to fall apart around them. The walls fell, the floors cracked, and the cell shook as if it wanted to tear itself apart from reality. Mr. Floyd looked as if he was reaching out to Noah. His mouth opened, but no words came out as he disappeared too. Noah grabbed Kane's hand. "Run, we gotta go." "What's happening?" "The dream is falling apart. We don't have long. We need to get outside." Hand in hand, the two ran through the twisting corridors, searching for the light that would be their savior as the world rumbled around them. Booms echoed throughout the building, so loud they could feel it in their very cores. Kane's hand in Noah's felt sweaty. Noah was sure his felt the same. His legs burned, his muscles screamed out in pain, begging for relief. When had been the last time he'd run like this? Probably after... There, the door. They sprang out of the door into the world outside, just in time to watch the entire castle fall down into a heap and get sucked out of existence. The world outside looked much the same as when they first arrived, but soon it wouldn't. Soon it too would collapse and disappear. A fleeting dream that could never truly exist. Shit. Let's go. How do we get out of here? If we go back to where we came in, there should be a way. The two turned to leave. But someone stood in their way. A man with blonde hair and deep green eyes. The two men froze. Their mouths hung open with surprise, and their eyes were so wide it wouldn't have been a surprise to either of them if they simply burst out of their heads. The man smiled softly, a sweet smile that reminded one of a sunflower in full bloom. A sweet smile that could only belong to one person. August? He looked at Noah with sadness in his eyes. Noah. Noah had a million questions running through his mind. A million things he wanted to say. A million things he wanted to do. But his mouth wouldn't cooperate. He couldn't say a single word. How many times had he gone over a situation like this in his head? How many speeches had he prepared were he ever to see August again? Tears formed in the corners of his eyes. Kane continued to stare, deep in confusion. Who? How? Is he a part of the dream? Mr. Floyd knew him well, so it wouldn't be a surprise. But he looks so whole, so real. Who are you? My name is Crow. Who are you? He waited for those words he wished for so dearly. For him to be real. For him to be August. I am nobody, just a wanderer. You too had best be going before you cease to exist along with the rest of this world. The boy named Crow smiled at them. The same gentle smile that Noah knew so well. He wanted to run back to him, to ask him those million questions. But instead, he felt a tug at his hand. Cain. Noah, we have to go. But he... When Noah looked back, he was gone. Just before the world turned in on itself, Cain and Noah escaped. The same falling feeling, the same fear deep in his stomach. And then he was back. Back home, in a reality where he was alone. When Noah opened his eyes, he was once again in his house, sitting in front of his easel. On it, a half-completed painting. Green fields that twisted into something sinister, something beyond reason. He lifted his brush once again. And this time, every stroke came with ease. It was as if he was spilling his very soul onto his canvas. Each and every drop of paint reflected him. That ease was something he hadn't felt in far too long. But his mind was elsewhere. Crow. If Cain hadn't, I could have asked you those million questions. I could have felt you again. Even if we could only chat for a little while, that would have been enough. Is it you? You look just like you. A smile reminded me so much of yours. Crow and August. Please. A knock sounded from the front door. And for some reason, Noah stood from his painting and opened it. Something in the past he would have simply ignored. Wait, did he really wake up in his apartment? Because that's not where he entered the dream. And also Cain was with him, so would Cain not wake up at the same place? Would he would he like reappear at his own home? Or did they maybe... Because my assumption would have been they reappeared at the same place where they disappeared, and then maybe Cain took Noah to his home? I don't know. Strange. And also, if someone's knocking on the door, is it Cain? Because Cain has a key? Well, we'll find out. Perhaps his mind was too occupied for him to consider what he was doing. Perhaps when he opened that door, somewhere deep inside of him hoped to see a certain someone with a smile like spring and eyes as deep as a forest. But the person on the other side of his door was a man he'd never seen before. That man with white hair pushed past Noah into his house. Noah stood still in shock, his eyes following the man in disbelief. He kicked over a few canvases from a forgotten couch in the corner of the room and sat down, making himself at home. Only a moment later, he picked up the remote and turned on the TV, kicking his legs up onto an abandoned painting. That's an ancient TV, just noticing. What the fuck? Yeah, there's the question to ask. What the hell are you doing? Get out, or I'm going to call the police. Your phone service got cut off. His voice was flat and matter-of-fact. And how the hell would you know that? I saw the disconnection notice in your trash. Noah shut the door and approached the man, filled with apprehension. Noah, that's not really smart. Like, you always keep an escape route, you know? Like, I would get out of there if someone just barged into my home. Oh well, whatever. Who the hell just comes into someone's house, sits on their couch and turns the TV on? What's going on? Alright, jackass, who are you? Ivan. Noah finally got a good look at this Ivan. His hair was bleached, completely white, and his eyes were different colors. His clothes were strange, as if he belonged on a catwalk instead of surrounded by all of this mess. Still, he had no trouble making himself at home. He leaned back into the couch, completely uninterested in Noah. His eyes rested on the TV, his expression bored. What's going on? Finally, Noah noticed it. Markings that ran up his arm and neck. Markings he'd seen before, more than once, on that very same TV. What do you want from me? I'm staying here tonight. I don't have anywhere else to go. Answer the damn question. You got a problem? I said I'm staying here tonight. But why? Because I've taken an interest in you. Anyway, I'm tired. Where's the bedroom? Without thinking, Noah pointed towards the door. Just overwhelmed, yeah, okay. Thanks, you can take the couch. Wow, how much more rude can you get? Ivan stood from his place, straightened out his clothes, then went into the bedroom. Noah stood still in shock, wondering what just happened. Shaking his head, he picked up his brush again to paint. I'll deal with him later. I can't lose this inspiration. Noah, I don't know about your priorities, man. What? Tap, tap, tap. The end of his pencil slowly tapped against his desk as his eyes concentrated on the blonde boy's profile. 1 week ago, August had moved into their class. The initial buzz around him had become subdued, and he had fit in with the others easily. He was naturally charming, kind, smart. In short, he could have become friends with anyone. Yet all week, they'd walked home from school together. They'd eaten lunch together during their breaks. Something about Noah's mind was fixated on him. His voice, his smile, the way he was so interested in absolutely everything, no matter who was talking. The way he thought Noah was so amazing. The way he would hang onto each and every one of his words and treat them like the greatest treasures. Noah was completely enamored, whether he realized it or not. Noah, is there something you need? No, Mr. Floyd, I'm sorry. He put the pencil down, embarrassed about being called out in front of everyone yet again. Before August had arrived, he tried his best to blend into the background, to be ignored wherever possible. It didn't seem to be working. The class laughed at him, everyone except for August and Kane. He buried his head in his workbook, his cheeks a deep red. Anything to escape their laughs. But he knew well enough he could laugh too. He would laugh too if it were someone else. That's all for this week, class. No homework, since I'm feeling particularly kind right now. Make sure you do some self-study if you find yourself with extra time. The bell rang, and everyone began clearing out of the room. Kane sauntered over to Noah's desk, a lopsided smile on his face. Nice tapping. Shut up. I was just thinking. About? Class, of course. Right. Hamlet is so interesting after all. Noah rolled his eyes, but he still laughed in return. Anyway, wanna stop by the arcade on the way home? Apparently they have some new machines. I wish. My parents got me a new tutor, so I gotta go straight home. Boo, that sucks. Well, enjoy. I'll go have fun without you. Asshole. Like a spring shower of flowers, August walked up to stand beside Kane. That same gentle, kind smile on his face. Could we stop by a store on the way home? I wanted to buy some new film. Noah's too busy for us. Tutoring, apparently. Oh, I have enough time for that. What? That won't take that much time. We can go to the arcade another day. Right. I'll come too then. Thought you were going to play games. Oh, if you're busy, I can go by myself. No, I'm not really that busy, so I can come. Noah stood from his desk and picked up his backpack. For some reason, Kane looked disappointed. Instead of noticing that, though, Noah couldn't keep his eyes away from August. The three of them left the classroom behind. Yeah, still very much smitten. Walking down the stairwell, August suddenly paused. Oh, I think I left my camera in my desk. You two can go on ahead, I don't want to keep you waiting when you have tutoring. We can walk together another time. August waved at Noah and Kane before disappearing back up the staircase. Kane turned to leave, only stopping when he noticed Noah wasn't moving. Come on, he said to leave without him. You go on ahead, I'll wait. I'll just wait too. It's fine, you wanted to go to the arcade anyway. Noah, get a hint. A look that Noah didn't quite understand passed over Kane's handsome features before he shrugged. He turned and started going down the stairs before he looked back up at Noah. Yeah, I wanted to go with you. See you tomorrow then. He disappeared from the stairwell, leaving Noah alone, waiting. Like, even if Kane didn't want to go specifically with Noah, which he obviously did, isn't it so shitty to go say, yeah, go to the arcade alone? Do people do that? Do you go to the arcade without your friends? I doubt there's many people that would, so yeah, whatever. Noah's too blind at the moment. He tapped his foot nervously and cleared his throat. His palms felt sweaty, and for some reason he suddenly wished Kane had stayed after all. What am I even meant to say to him one-on-one? Kane's always been there. Oh. A few steps higher than him, August paused in surprise. In his hands, both a small pink camera and his glasses. A light dusting of red stood out against his pale skin. Noah desperately searched for something, anything to say, but he came up blank. August finished polishing his glasses before placing them back on his face, as if to confirm what he was seeing was actually happening. Yeah, also, what if August specifically went back, like making up a lie about the camera so that Noah and Kane could be alone, eh? I know he didn't, but yeah. You should have gone on ahead. You didn't have to wait for me. It's no big deal. I wanted to go together anyway. August's surprise turned into a smile. You know, 'cause we haven't had that much of a chance to get to know each other. I'd like that. Why don't we go now then, before I make you any more late? August brushed past Noah, leading the way. A faint, floral-like smell followed him. The two left the school side by side. A breeze so light that it was barely noticeable blew through the quiet street, gently ruffling August's hair. It wasn't something Noah tried to notice. It was more like he couldn't help but notice. At first, they walked in silence. It wasn't awkward, but Noah still racked his mind trying to come up with anything to say. Anything that would make him sound cool or funny, or like someone August would want to be friends with. So, do you like the school? Why that? I sound so lame. Yeah, I do. Everyone's been really nice to me. I like Mr. Floyd too. He's fun. Yeah. You said you move around a lot, right? My dad's job involves a lot of travel, so I've never stayed anywhere longer than a year. I'm not even sure how long we'll stay here, to be honest. Your mom must hate that. I'm sure she would, but she actually died a long time ago. What have I done? I'm so sorry, I didn't mean... Don't worry, there's no way you could have known. It's okay. What was she like? My dad said she was a lot like me, but I don't know. She died during childbirth. I'm just making things worse. Why, Noah? Why? Sorry, I made the atmosphere a little heavy, didn't I? I haven't told anyone else before. No, it's okay. I don't mind what we talk about. I just like talking to you. Well, I like talking to you too. The sun beat down on their faces, warming them to their cores. Every step felt as if it echoed throughout Noah's body. How about this? Can you guess why my name is August? Well, were you born in August? He smiled wide, brighter than the sun. I'm August, born in August. That's cute. I don't know about cute. Maybe my parents just picked the first thing they thought of. Noah shook his head. It suits you. You feel like an August, born in August. I mean, there's worse reasons to name a child. Thanks, Noah. Oh, this is the store I wanted to go into. Do you want to come inside or wait here? Noah looked up at the store. The window was filled with cameras of all shapes and sizes. I'll wait here. Okay, I'll be quick. It's okay, take your time. As soon as August disappeared into the store, Noah leaned against the wall, banging his head on it a few times. Why'd I have to say all of that? What if he hates me now? It feels like someone's holding my tongue whenever I talk to him. What's wrong with me? It's never like this with Kane, or with anyone else in class. It's just him. Him. With a sigh, Noah looked down at his phone. He already had 3 missed calls from his mother. But as his eyes went from his phone screen to August, who he could just see from the window front of the camera store, the choice was obvious. He buried his phone back into his pocket just as August came gliding out of the store. Noah stood up straight instantly and cleared his throat. I mean, even if he went back directly home from school, he wouldn't have been that much earlier, right? Like, well, we already established that his parents are shitty, so yeah. What'd you buy? I needed some new film for my camera. See? August pulled the film out of the bag. Noah had never been one to be interested in photography, but right now it seemed like the most interesting thing in the world. Right, you said you like taking pictures. I remember. I love it. I don't have a fancy camera or anything, just an instant one, but it lets me keep memories of all the places I've been. It makes me happy. I won't forget anything if I have them. Once again side by side, Noah and August continued down the street. Should we take the shortcut? From this point in town, the shortcut isn't actually any shorter, but he likes going that way, doesn't he? Yeah, we should be able to get through from here. Noah climbed up the short brick wall that stood in the way before turning around and holding his hand out for August. He didn't even hesitate for a moment taking that hand. Noah easily pulled him up to stand beside him. And for a moment, and only for a moment, did Noah's hand linger. But a moment was all it took. The river, not so far in the distance, gently trickled by in the mid-afternoon sun as the 2 boys, together, walked up the mountain path. It was a calming sound, yet Noah felt anything but calm. His hand felt hot where the two had touched, and his heartbeat echoed in his ears. Noah? Huh? What's gotten you so frightened? Oh, sorry. I was a little stuck in my own head. What was it? I just wanted to thank you for coming with me. I know you were busy. You really didn't have to. To be honest, I really wanted you to come, so I owe you one. You don't owe me. Actually, then let me see your photos sometime. My photos? They're not anything special. Please? Then show me more of your drawings too. But I think that's a pretty fair trade. Okay. Up ahead, they could already see the backs of their houses. They climbed the final few steps quickly. Thanks again, Noah. I had fun. I'll see you tomorrow. It's fine, really. Yeah, see you tomorrow. Noah's voice was small and meek. His mind screamed out at him to stop being so timid and to just ask what he wanted to ask. But somehow he still struggled in a way he never had before. Wait. I was just wondering if I could, you know, can I have your number? Fuck. Of course you can. I was actually going to ask for yours too, but I forgot. They pulled out their phones, Noah ignoring the growing amount of missed calls, and exchanged numbers. Noah stared at the numbers on his screen as if he didn't believe they were real. See you tomorrow, Noah. Every step back to his house felt as if he were walking on clouds. He clutched his phone to his chest, his heart beating much faster than it should have been. There's something wrong with me, isn't there? Not at all, baby gay. Not at all. Noah, just where have you been? Fuck. I had to go to the store to buy a new workbook. I filled my last one already. His mother clutched her necklace so tight, her knuckles had gone white. Then you should have told me. You knew your new tutor was coming over today. Sorry, Mom. A man stood up from the couch. A man Noah recognized instantly. Oh, Mr. Floyd? Hey, Noah. Sorry, this is probably a surprise. I thought you knew. Why would his own teacher would be his tutor? Does it make sense? Like, isn't that something you should then arrange via the school? I mean, they could have, and Noah just didn't know, but... What? That's weird. Just saying. Or is this a thing that I'm just not aware of? Do teachers act as tutors for their own students outside of, like, the school system? I don't know. He rubbed at the back of his neck awkwardly, his eyes drifting over to look at Noah's mother. No, of course I didn't know. Why didn't anyone tell me? Dear, don't embarrass me in front of our guest. Go back to your room and start studying, okay? Let's just spend the evening working out exactly what I'm going to help you with. Does that sound good? Sure. I'll bring you in some snacks later. Noah, please make sure to concentrate and not waste any of Mr. Floyd's time. Do you understand? Sure. So weird. And what I meant before also, like, is mom calling him a ton? Like, they scheduled the tutor session right after school. Like, why don't you leave a bit of time in between to get home, relax for a moment, have a snack? I don't know. Weird. What is the scheduling? Noah held the door open long enough for his teacher to enter the room before he slammed it shut. His mother would probably scold him about it later, but at that present moment, he didn't care. With a sigh, Noah sat down on the ground on one side of his table, while Mr. Floyd took the other. For a few moments, it was quiet, before Mr. Floyd opened his mouth again. Sorry, Noah, I really did think she told you. Anyway, this can be casual. I'm not your teacher here. You kinda are. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Okay, I kind of am, but it's still different. Noah couldn't help but crack a smile at his flailing. A laugh escaped his lips, and he leaned back, finally relaxing. Fine. Do I get to call you by your first name? Whoa, let's not be hasty here. Mr. Floyd pulled out a notebook and pencil. I would usually ask what you're struggling with, but we both know you don't struggle with anything, and I'm honestly unsure about why you need a tutor. My mom might explode if I don't have one. So it's like that. Then why don't I teach you some of the more advanced subjects? They'll come in useful for university. Noah glanced towards his art books. That sounds good. Any specific topics that interest you then? Or would you rather I decide? Noah shrugged. Alrighty, we can start with math and science first of all, and by tomorrow I'll work out a proper study plan. Cool? Cool. Or we could just watch a movie or play some games instead. Sure, if you want me to be fired. Better not then, or I'll end up with an annoying tutor like last time. Annoying? He got the answers to his own questions wrong, didn't appreciate me correcting him, then went crying to my mom and quit. I'm almost impressed. How about we make this fun? If you manage to catch me making a mistake like that, I'll let you play games instead of studying that session. You're on. Despite his best efforts, the rest of the evening passed by without Noah being able to one-up his teacher in any way. Noah had always been smart enough, but Mr. Floyd knew exactly what he was teaching, as if it were second nature to him. A gentle breeze came from his ever so slightly opened window, as he finally finished the last question given to him. Good work today. Seriously, Noah, you're going to go places. You're a smart kid. Geez, do you ever make any mistakes? I've made plenty of mistakes. I'm sure I'll make plenty more too. Good luck catching me making one, though. Is this some foreshadowing? Mr. Floyd winked, closing up his textbook at the same time. But you're so smart. How did you end up a teacher? What? Being a teacher isn't good enough? I didn't mean it like that. I'm kidding. Someone special to me told me I'd be good at it. I didn't really have anything I wanted to do when I was your age, so I just went with what they told me to do. And as it turned out, I loved it. A girlfriend? Something like that. Anyway, it's getting late. We'll resume this tomorrow. Sound good? I don't know about good, but... Mr. Floyd laughed out loud. I never realized you were such a troublesome kid. He stood and picked up his bags before smiling down at Noah. I'll walk you to the door. Done already? It's 9 p.m. You should be exceptionally proud of your son. He's got a good head on his shoulders. Hey. And I am Mr. Floyd. He is my pride and joy. I'll see you tomorrow, Noah. Good job today. With a casual wave, he left the house. I'm gonna go to sleep. Good night. Good night. Oh, Noah, your brother is going to be back from a school trip soon. Right. Okay, so, I mean, we already know that the teacher fucked up at some point. So, I guess not having him only as a teacher at school, but also in this more private environment. Yeah. I don't know if it really plays a role, but it definitely makes matters worse if he did something that Noah would hate him over. You know, if it's just at school, you might be a bit more detached, but here, and they're getting along fine. He seems to be a good person, a good teacher. Oh well. The room was already dark. For some reason, this was the time of day Noah liked most. The time of day where no one else would bother him, or question him, or yell at him. He could be alone with his thoughts. Thoughts that were, today, particularly disordered. Usually he'd use this chance to draw, but for some reason, he couldn't bring himself to concentrate. Couldn't bring himself to put his pencil to paper. An odd occurrence for him. At any other time, this would be how he got his feelings out. How he made himself feel just a little bit better. But tonight, his mind was muddled. A mess that he couldn't decipher. He unlocked his phone and stared at his contact list. August's name stood out from all the rest. His finger hovered over the message button, but he couldn't bring himself to press it. With a sigh, his hand dropped back down to the bed. Outside of his window, the rain fell noisily to the land below. He closed his eyes, listening to that sound, before picking his phone up again. First, he searched for one phrase. Why am I nervous around someone? The answer's inconclusive. More specific. Why do I feel both sick and excited when I see him? A particular word stood out to him on that search page. A word that made him blink a few times, both in surprise and validation. He searched for one final phrase before he fell asleep. What does a crush feel like? Young love. I'll be handing back your mock exams now. I'm very proud of how much you've all grown, academically and otherwise. And you should all be proud of yourselves too. Here it comes. Mr. Floyd walked between the desks, setting the marked exam papers face down. I just try to hold my For some reason, Noah felt nervous. He didn't usually feel nervous about something like this. He'd always done well after all. But something about impressing both his new tutor and teacher made the butterflies in his stomach start stirring. Mr. Floyd's footsteps echoed through the hushed classroom. Noah looked at the faces of those who had already received their grades. Some looked happy, some disappointed. I wonder what my face will look like to them. Mr. Floyd's footsteps stopped in front of Noah's desk. When he looked up to meet his teacher's eyes, he winked and placed the test down before resuming his walk around the classroom. Taking a deep breath, Noah flipped the page over. 98. I got a 98? That's way higher than usual. That should be everyone. Give yourselves a pat on the back and make sure to relax over the weekend. You've all deserved it. The bell rang just as he finished teaching. Kane quickly bounded over to Noah, a wide smile on his face. Go on, how did you do? No way, you show me first. Fine with me. Take a look at this. With a grin that said, try to beat this, Kane slammed his mock exam down on Noah's desk. In red pen, a 94 was circled. Wow, amazing. It's okay, you don't have to be jealous. Oh, I'm not. With a similar grin, Noah pushed his test towards Kane. What? Mr. Floyd must have made a mistake. Mr. Floyd, come back. Kane mockingly pretended to chase after their teacher, who just laughed and waved him off, busy picking up his things. Give that back. How the hell did you get a 98? 98? Noah, that's amazing. In the middle of the ruckus, August had approached quietly, a look of amazement on his face. At his arrival, Kane had tensed up a little. Oh, thanks. He probably cheated. I did not. I just have a new tutor. Oh, I remember you mentioning that. He must be really good. Yeah, he is. I can't believe this. My winning streak ruined. Shut up already. You only beat me before because I didn't care. Here it comes. Sob sob, he really said. Don't say sob sob out loud. That sounds so stupid. Kane and Noah laughed. We should celebrate somehow. You don't have to do that. It's not even a big deal. I want to. 98 really is amazing. You should be proud. How did you do? Well, I got a 75. Not as good as the two of you. That's still really amazing too, you know? You're really amazing. How about you two stay over at my place this weekend? I've got some new games. August blinked a few times, obviously surprised. Me? Well, yeah, it was your idea to celebrate. I just thought that you... Yeah, I think that would be really fun. Alright, let's do it. Actually, out of character, August stuttered a little, as if he was a little nervous about what he was about to ask, before he brushed it off and regained his usual confidence. Why don't you two come over to my place? My dad's been asking me to introduce my friends to him. August's house? August's bedroom? Moving a bit quick there, buddy. That's fine with me. Noah? Staying overnight at August's house, in August's bedroom? Earth to Noah. Hey, stop zoning out. It's okay if you don't want to. No, I do. I really want to. Anyway, I gotta go home now. My tutor is coming over again. One of these days you'll have the time to hang out again. Yeah, whatever. Then let's walk home together. I don't have anything else to do today. As the three of them walked towards the door, Mr. Floyd called out. Good job, Noah. I'll see you later. In response, Noah smiled and waved. See you later. Yeah, not weird at all. Yeah, I was about to say. Quick note before, when August was surprised that Cain invited him. Sounded like August was thinking that Cain didn't like him. Right? Which, easy mistake the way he's been acting, but yeah. What was that about? What was what about? See you later? Oh, Mr. Floyd is my tutor. Uh-huh. Things are starting to make sense. What's that supposed to mean? Cain shrugged. Just saying that your high mark is beginning to make sense, since the two of you are friends. Oh, shut up. I earned that. You're just jealous. He's way better than my last tutor anyway. I don't think I've ever had a tutor. I thought that only happened in movies and stuff. Count yourself lucky then. I've been stuck with mine since I was 7. What? Okay. Wow. I've gone through a few. If you ever need any help, I could tutor you, if you wanted. You, tutoring. I think the 98 is going to your head. Shut up. Thanks, Noah. I think I'll take you up on that. There were a few things I didn't understand on the test. No problem. Unrelated, but I heard your brother is going to be back soon. God, don't remind me. You have a brother? Yeah, he's a little older than me. Sounds like you don't get along very well. He's the golden child and I'm the failure, after all. Failure? Don't be silly. You always get good marks. Your teacher likes you. You're so good at art, too. He got 100 on every test through high school. He was the captain of 2 different sports teams, president of the school council. How did you hear that anyway? Your mom was chatting with my mom the other day. I heard it from her. Of course, she's just gotta brag that her favorite child is coming home. Let me stay at your place for a couple of weeks, just until he's gone. As much as your mom likes me, I think she'd kill both of us if we tried that. My mom likes you more than she likes me. I'm sure you could ask her for anything and she'd say yes. You could always stay at my place. Wait, really? Hey, I wouldn't want to bother you. You'd never be a bother, and you're always welcome in my house. Thanks. Before long, they'd already reached home, to Noah's disappointment. I want to spend some more time with him. If only I didn't have tutoring tonight. Oh, even though we've been in the same class for a little while now, I feel like we've barely got to hang out. With that thought in his mind, he braced himself for what was awaiting him. He could hear their voices before he even stepped through the door. They didn't keep their words to harsh tones, instead deciding that even if anyone did overhear them, they didn't care. I think this new tutor is a good fit for him. If he can convince him to finally give up that girly hobby, then I don't care who it is. Maybe his brother will be able to talk some sense into him too. I'm home. He purposefully cut into their conversation, ignoring their words even as they dug deep into him. What's so wrong with drawing? And how is it a girly hobby? I mean, don't you know of all the famous artists that are men? I have something to show you. Here. Noah fished the test paper from his bag and handed it over to his mother, who gasped in surprise. Noah, did you take someone else's test? What? No. Did you cheat? No. This is really yours. Yeah? Not bad. Nearly as good as Asher. Right. My bad. I'll try harder next time. Don't worry, dear. He'll get it next time. With an inaudible sigh, Noah felt his spirits deflate. He took back the paper and buried it in his backpack. I'm going to go wait for my tutor in my room. Good boy. I'll bring you in some snacks later. Gosh, these parents. Instead of setting up for his tutor, Noah found himself pulling his old sketchbooks from his shelves. His eyes danced over the pages, looking at everything he'd poured his heart into for the past few years. I guess I just suck. Why am I never good enough? At least August thinks it's cool. For what must have been the 100th time, Noah stared down at August's contact in his phone, but decided against texting him. It's not like I have anything to say to him. Well, you could vent. It's not the most positive kind of conversation, but it helps, usually. I'm here. Noah, you should be so proud of yourself after that last test. You've always been good. No, great. But you've grown even further. Thanks to you. Mr. Floyd shut the door behind him and shook his head. No, it's because you've put the effort in. He set his textbooks down on the table before glancing towards the sketchbooks in Noah's hands. What's this? Oh, they're nothing. This is your art? Noah braced himself. He waited for the same words that came from each of his tutors, like robots with strict scripts. The scripts that, by extension, came from his parents. Every single time. You should give that up. It's a waste of time. You should study instead. You have so many talents. I had no idea you could draw. You're not going to tell me to stop? Of course not. He laughed and sat down. But unlike you, I struggle with even a stick figure, so I won't be of any use in that regard. Should we get started on what I can help you with? Noah felt a lightness in his heart that he didn't know could exist. He's on my side? Mr. Floyd opened up one of his math textbooks, waiting for Noah to join him. He sat on the other side of the table and pulled out his workbook. Equations and calculations sat against the page like a foreign language. I think we can move on to a new subject now. You've already proven to have a mastery over what I've taught so far. Noah nodded, but his eyes went back down to his phone. I thought he would have sent me a message by now. Maybe he doesn't want to. Maybe he has the same issues as you and doesn't know how to start a conversation. Or maybe he wants me to send one first. Or maybe he just doesn't have anything to say, since we're not even that close and we see each other every day at school. Or maybe... Noah? Maybe he didn't actually want to give me his number and I put him on the spot? Is it too weird to message each other? Hello, Earth to Noah? Mr. Floyd waved his hand in front of Noah, snapping him out of wherever his mind had gone. Oh, sorry, I'm listening. Of course you're not. His tutor closed his textbook, looking earnestly at him. What's on your mind? I'm sorry, Mr. Floyd, I'll concentrate now. Noah reached across the table, trying to open the textbook back to the page on whatever his teacher was currently trying to talk about. But unfortunately, Mr. Floyd was faster than him. He gently placed his hands on the book, stopping it from being opened before shaking his head. Some things are more important than schoolwork. A lot of things, really. Don't tell anyone I said that to you. No one will ever do their homework again. Is it really okay? He'll think I'm weird, won't he? But I feel like I can trust him. Actually, something has been on my mind. I don't want you to laugh at me, though. Go ahead, I won't laugh. What does liking someone feel like? Liking someone? Like, you know, liking someone. Like love or something? Mr. Floyd did in fact laugh for a second, before he noticed the serious expression on Noah's face. Okay, you're serious. You're a healthy teenage boy. I thought you would have known this already. Well, he grew up in a very loving household, did he? Let's see. I wasn't exactly prepared for this. He cleared his throat awkwardly. So, you mean like physically? Yeah, how would you know? Let me think back to being a teenager. I guess I used to feel awkward around my crush. Butterflies, wanting to talk with them, staring at them. Sounds kind of creepy looking back on it. Is it someone in the class? You don't have to tell me. Noah nodded wordlessly. Sophia? Or maybe Arya? Is it wrong to like someone that's like me? Someone like you? It's August. A silence followed his sudden outburst. He blinked, surprised at Noah's answer. Honestly, I'm also surprised that he just went out and said it. Of course that's not wrong. Really? Yeah, you have nothing to be worried about. A warm feeling spread within Noah's chest. Validation. It's okay. I'm okay. I'm normal. This has really been bothering you, huh? Well, don't worry, I won't tell anyone. Mr. Floyd reopened his textbook naturally, segueing back into the lesson. Now, where were we? Noah picked up his pencil and listened carefully, his mind suddenly as clear as the sky just outside the window, which had begun to dim into a gentle orange. Right, advanced calculus, everyone's favorite. You'll pick it up in no time. How do you even remember so much? Would you believe me if I said I just love math so much that it's all I do in my free time? Ew. I agree. Sorry to those math lovers, I just can't. Even teachers aren't that sad. Except maybe Miss... Wait, I shouldn't say that. I really shouldn't say that. Come on, now I'm curious. My lips are sealed. Fine. Then how do you remember it all? The truth is, I don't remember everything. I think that's the same no matter what you study. You learn things, you forget things, you relearn things. That sounds so lame. Who'd want to relearn something you're not interested in over and over again, just to teach someone else? Me, I suppose. There's something satisfying about being able to pass on knowledge. Maybe you'll understand one day. I would be an awful teacher. An art teacher, then? No, I'm nowhere near good enough. I beg to differ, but whether you want to do that or not, I can see you going far with your art. Keep it up, okay? Mr. Floyd chatted happily, circling a formula in Noah's workbook at the same time. He can do advanced calculus and small talk at the same time. He's really something else. Do you have someone you like? What? Where'd that come from? I was just wondering. You said that someone special told you to be a teacher, right? So you do pay attention in class. I thought you were too busy tapping your pencil against the desk. Hey. I did. You did. That person isn't around anymore. I haven't really been interested in dating since then. Oh. I'm sorry. What? Oh. They aren't dead. Just got married. I went to the wedding, and it was beautiful. Still just a little heartbroken, I guess. Did you try that thing they do in movies? Objecting? I'd die before actually doing that. Really, this is another lesson for you. Take risky shots before you don't have the chance anymore. Was her dress pretty at least? Oh, Noah. Read the room. He looked happier than ever. Oh, right. Her dress was pretty too. Too naive. At some point, the sun had fallen deep over the horizon, leaving the moonlight to shine in from the large window at the back of the room. Mr. Floyd shut his textbook with a sad sigh, staring out the window as if he was waiting for someone to miraculously appear. When no one did, he turned back to Noah. I think that's enough for today, though I think we chatted more than studied. Don't tell on me, alright? I need the extra money. Well, I think no one needed that conversation. Like, emotionally, but also there is such a thing as emotional intelligence, so it's important to talk about that kind of stuff. Maybe not who your teacher was dating before, depends. But like, you know what I'm saying, right? Don't tell me, alright? I need the extra money. I knew you weren't here out of the goodness of your own heart. Mr. Floyd smirked in response, and Noah found himself laughing alongside the man as they both headed towards the door. Good work today, Noah. I'll see you tomorrow. I see you two are finally done. Good. A word, if that's okay with you. Of course, ma'am. Noah, you can go back to your room. How gracious. Why? The adults need to speak. Go on, run off. All right. Good night. I'll see you tomorrow, Mr. Floyd. The door shut quietly behind Noah as he tried to put aside his mother's dismissive attitude. On his table, various books were still laid out from the tutoring session. But his studies weren't what was on his mind. I was just thinking now the way his parents are so controlling. You would think that they would make him study downstairs or the mother would come check in now and then to make sure they're really studying, you know? Well, guess she's trusting the teacher, or was trusting him so far. But the studies weren't what was on his mind. He says it's okay that I like August. Right. I like him. That's what this is. Noah settled in between his sheets, closing his eyes. Outside the door, he could hear the low murmuring of talking, but couldn't make out any specific words. But whatever they were talking about, it didn't matter. At that time, at that moment, nothing else mattered to him but the feeling of finally being accepted. Finally feeling like he'd found his place. With that in his mind, he closed his eyes. Morning had come around much too quickly. Noah had spent most of the night tossing and turning, thinking about what his teacher had said, and his feelings for the boy who lived just next door. He'd only just managed to get to sleep when his eyes snapped open. For some reason, the sunlight that streamed in from outside seemed to be particularly bright this morning. That was cause for alarm. Noah reached out for his phone and flipped it open. The time on it read 8:25 a.m. What the? My alarm didn't go off. The bell's going to ring in 5 minutes. 2 minutes later, he was dressed and ready to leave. He quickly checked himself in the mirror and smoothed out his hair before he practically flew out the door. Mom, why didn't you wake me? Both the kitchen and living room were devoid of any and all life. Usually, at least his mother would still be around at this time of day, but it seemed that she was out. Ugh. With no more time to waste on where they had gone, Noah picked up his backpack from near the front door and stepped into his shoes before shooting out the front door. In a hurry, Noah circled around his house to reach the overgrown yet well-worn track that led down the mountain. If I run, I won't be too late, I hope. Usually he would either wait around for August and Kane, or see them waiting for him already. This time he didn't expect to see either of them. Maybe that's why he stopped in his tracks, when a bit of blonde hair shone in the sun through the foliage ahead of him. Wait. August? Oh god, I'm not ready to see him yet. Should I go back the way I came? But he's been waiting for me all this time. Which is a bit stupid in case Noah was like sick or anything, or not coming to school for any reason, but okay. Noah? A voice called out from beyond the green leaves. Green eyes that nearly matched peered at him, first in surprise, and in happiness. Noah, it is you. What are you doing here? I was waiting for you so we could walk to school together. But now you're going to be late. I don't mind being a little late. What if I was sick or something, or wasn't going today? Thank you. Well, I was contemplating coming to knock on your door, but I didn't want to rush you. Thanks. Kane didn't wait? Oh, he wanted to come drag you out of bed himself, but he said something about his father telling him not to be late today for some reason. Weird. Shoulder to shoulder, the two started speeding down the mountain, careful not to slip. At that present moment, being late for school was the last thing on Noah's mind. All of his senses were consumed by August. His eyes filled with the sight of his face that shone like sunlight falling on a field of flowers. His nose filled with the smell of August's shampoo, which still drifted off his slightly damp hair. His ears, much too aware of August's breath, of his footsteps, of the rocks tumbling beneath his feet. Each time their shoulders brushed together, Noah could feel himself wanting to run away as fast as possible. The only thing missing from the five senses was taste. Taste. A taste of... God, what am I thinking? Noah felt his face flush. Never in his life had he thought of another person this way, and now suddenly it was as if it was all he would think about. Did you sleep in? Huh? Noah nearly jumped out of his skin when August spoke up. Oh, I didn't sleep very well. I think I forget to set my alarm too. I hate when that happens. Usually my mom would wake me up if I oversleep, but she wasn't at home this morning. August pulled out his phone and checked his clock. Doesn't look like we'll be too late at least. Though, if we're late already, we should just skip class and hang out instead. Wow, real bad boy, bad influence. Ugh, bad influence here, huh? I'm kidding. Oh. Doesn't sound so bad to me. I think my dad might cry if I skip school, to be honest. Really? Yeah, that's the kind of person he is. Up ahead, the greenery was slowly giving way to concrete. For some reason, that filled Noah with a sense of sadness. Here, together and alone, they were in a place no one else could reach, no one else could ruin. But out there, the world went on. I wish we could just stay here. Nothing. It's fine. Come on, we should hurry up. The two boys ran through the streets and into the school gates. A teacher who had been minding the gates simply shook her head as the two walked in. Jeez, now they're going to think I'm a bad influence on you even more. Being influenced by you doesn't sound so bad. The two stopped dead in their tracks as they walked into the classroom, so busy chatting they almost forgot they were late. The room was hushed, and all eyes went to the two boys. You, take a seat. Me? Yes, you. Okay. August took a seat alone, leaving Noah standing awkwardly by the door. Sitting at the front desk was someone other than their teacher, the principal. Noah, I take it? Yeah. I'm sorry we're late, it's all my fault. We'll deal with your tardiness later. For now, please come with me. Noah stood his ground. Why? I assumed your parents would have talked to you. When Noah didn't budge, the principal simply sighed and shrugged his shoulders, before opening his mouth once again. You'll be moving classes from today. What? Why? Because your parents have requested it. No, come on, let's not make a scene. Yeah, you're kind of making a scene by discussing this in front of the whole class, but okay. But... You'll be in class 3-1 from today onwards. Come on, I'll introduce you. Class, Mr. Floyd will arrive shortly. Please use the time for self-study until then. Sir, please, I think there's been a mistake. You're Noah, correct? Yes. Your parents requested, well, I can't really say requested, demanded would be more suited, I think. They demanded you be moved at once. Your mother was here this morning in person. Why you weren't told, I don't know. Noah felt himself deflate. Mom did this? Why? Do I really have to move? Unfortunately, I can't do anything about it. Your family is a major financial backer. Whatever he said after that, Noah couldn't bear to listen anymore. It always comes down to money, doesn't it? Have enough money and you can mess anyone's life over as much as you want. I hate her. I hate them so much. The two stopped in front of a door that was identical to the last classroom, and the two stepped inside. Once again, the class looked towards him as he entered, though this time, the faces were much more unfamiliar. A young woman with short orange hair and dark eyes smiled towards him. Quickly, she moved to pull him to the side. You must be Noah. Please, you can take a seat. You can call me Miss Rose. I understand you were probably moved here against your wishes, so I won't force you to stand at the front of the class and introduce yourself. Okay? Fine. She smiled. Her eyes seemed sympathetic, but Noah looked away from her angrily. Noah sat at the desk he was pointed towards wordlessly, a frown on his brow. What's going on? Why would they do this to me? This isn't fair. This isn't fair. The principal, done with his part, left the room after nodding to Miss Rose. Noah kept his mouth shut, his workbook closed, and his pen lying to the side, unused. He stared out the window at the mountains in the distance. We should have just stayed there, skipped class and hung out like you said. Everything sucks. Everything sucks, except for you. Miss Rose's voice droned on in the background while Noah paid her no mind. His eyes wandered from the mountains back to his desk. He opened up his workbook. It was filled with yesterday's notes, neat and tidy. He lifted his pen to the page next to it and harshly scribbled a line down the page. Then another and another, leaving muddy black ink over his white canvas. Before Noah knew it, the lunch bell was ringing, and he was the only one left in the classroom. He jumped up from his desk and stormed out of the room, searching for one person in particular. Well, that's all very odd. Hey! Noah finally spotted him. Mr. Floyd walked down the stairwell alone, his materials for the day held tightly in his arms. When Noah launched down the steps towards him, he dropped his books and papers everywhere. "What's going on?" Wordlessly, he bent down to pick up his dropped items, but Noah quickly advanced further towards him. "I said, what's going on? Why have I been moved?" "Your parents requested it." "But why?" "I was wrong. You shouldn't listen to my advice." "What do you mean?" Mr. Floyd paused, his face conflicted. His words were slow and drawn out, as if he was struggling to say them. "My advice about August. You should ignore it." "So you're telling me the way I feel is wrong after all?" "I'm sorry, Noah, but please don't speak to me again, or both of us will be in trouble." With his papers gathered, he continued down the stairs, leaving Noah alone with his anger. Fuck! He punched the wall uncharacteristically, filled with rage. I just want to be in the same class as August. This isn't fair. Noah. Hey. What's going on? What was all that this morning? Great question. I got escorted into Miss Rose's class this morning by the principal, and no one will tell me what's going on. They just keep saying that my parents made me move. But why? Kane's frown deepened, his usual teasing face replaced with something much more serious. They can't just do that. Apparently they can. Once again, they just want to ruin my life. I'm sorry. At least they didn't suddenly move me to another school. Shit could be worse, I guess. That still doesn't make this fair. Fine, then I'm going to come sit in Miss Rose's class today, if we're all allowed to just move around wherever we want. Don't, you'll just get in trouble. And what are we going to do? It's not worth it. I'll try to work it out. You want me to tell August? Not yet. Maybe I can fix this somehow. I'm going home now, so you don't have to wait for me after school. Won't that just get you in more trouble? Probably, but I don't really care. Alright. Then see you tomorrow. I'll see what I can do too. Kane gave Noah a wave before going back out into the hallway. Filled with anger, Noah flew down the staircase and out into the street, ignoring the calls from the teachers behind him. Okay, we're going to find out now, it seems, but yeah, I was just wondering, not wondering, but I mean, the teacher obviously seemed very on edge, and I mean, if he's saying stuff like we shouldn't talk to each other so we won't get into trouble, at least explain it. People should just talk to each other. What's going on? What are you doing home? Class doesn't finish until this afternoon. Why did you get me moved to a different class? I'm very disappointed in you, Noah. For many reasons. Give me a phone, now. What? Why? Now. Frustrated, he whipped his phone from his bag just in time to see the screen light up with the name he'd been waiting for all this time. August. But it was too late. She snatched it from his hand as he floundered to get it back. Wait, let me check that text. She looked down at the screen before sighing and switching the phone off. You're not having this back. From now on, you better only concentrate on school. I don't want any more nonsense from you. What? No more stopping places on the way home, and absolutely no hanging around this August anymore. I don't understand. Why did you make me move class? Why are you punishing me for no reason? Go to your room. What about my tutoring later? We fired your tutor. I'll find you a new one soon. Tears threatened to overflow as he stomped back to his room and slammed the door shut, the echo traveling through the entire house. That asshole. He told her everything, didn't he? When they went to talk alone, he told her everything I said to him. He told me I was normal, but he told them everything. I shouldn't have trusted him. Fuck. He told me I was normal. 'Cause you are. I'm wondering if it's a misunderstanding. I mean, the way that we established it before, probably not. But what did the mother, what I was suspecting before already, of the mother was maybe listening in to what they were talking about in the room? I don't know, because if Mr. Floyd just went on and talked, like told his mom everything right after, then he's a really bad judge of character. I mean, it was so obvious that his parents only want him to study and whatever. I mean, they don't seem to hide any of their bigotry at all, do they? Asshole. Noah collapsed on his phone, burying his tear-filled face into his mountain of pillows. He didn't even bother kicking his shoes off. It's not fair. Why does everyone want to ruin my life? I just want to be in the same class as him. At some point, his eyes began to feel heavy, and he fell into a sleep that finally stopped his tears. And the world kept moving around him. Kane, frustrated with his own inability to help, and August, who wondered if messaging Noah was too forward, especially as he was ignored. When Noah opened his eyes again, his room was already dark. His eyes felt puffy and his skin tight. He sat up from his bed and turned the lamp on. In a mirror across the room, he saw his reflection. I look like crap. Maybe I should try that thing August said. He left the room and returned with his hands full of various products his mother owned. What's this all do anyway? I guess it's not surprising August uses this stuff. His skin looks really soft and smooth. I bet if I touched it, I bet it would feel really nice. He picked up a few random bottles of various sizes. Toner, cleanser, serum, eye cream. What is all this? Finally, he found the bottle he was searching for in the sea of other bottles. Light moisturizer. Maybe this will help. Awkwardly, he rubbed it over his face, waiting for something magical to happen. Oh, you wish. Well, I guess it feels a little fresher. This stuff is way too overpriced. He sighed, dropping the bottles onto his floor as he fell back onto his bed. Of course he finally texts me and she takes my phone. Of course. The thing I've been waiting for. Maybe I should go over and talk to him. Otherwise, he'll think I'm ignoring him. Standing, he rested his hand on his doorknob before trying to turn it. Locked. What? I left just a minute ago. Did they seriously lock me in here? I guess leaving in the middle of the night is probably a bad idea anyway. But some fresh air would be good. Locking in your child, jeez. I wonder if he needs to go to the bathroom. With that thought, he pulled open his window before he froze. In the window across from his, he saw him. August. A pair of headphones sat in his ears, and the sound of a soft humming came from behind his closed window. His bedroom, it's right across from mine? How did I not notice? That would be like the first thing I ask, actually, if someone lived so close to me that you could look into their window. Like, which room is yours? No? Just me? He drew his shallow breath and held it, as if waiting for something to go wrong, for someone to take this away from him too, but nothing happened. He searched through his room, looking for something to throw. Pencils. Please let me not damage his window or hit him. Bang, bang, bang. He threw them one at a time. Not too hard, lest someone in his house notice, but he hoped hard enough to attract August's attention. Before long, he saw August pull his headphones from his ears and look towards the window. His big green eyes were filled with surprise. He rushed towards the window and opened it, and a pencil soared over his head and into his room. Noah quickly slid out of his window and sat atop the windowsill. August copied him, doing the same. Noah! Shh, or someone will notice. He whispered in return, raising his finger to his lips. August nodded knowingly, as if he understood exactly what was going on. I had no clue my bedroom faced yours. Noah could have sworn he saw a dusting of pink on August's cheeks as he chuckled quietly. I noticed the other day. I thought you knew already. I shut my curtains when I get changed, don't I? I don't know how I didn't notice. I'm sorry about ignoring her text. I didn't get to read it because my mom took my phone. She says I can't have it back. What? Why? I can't tell him what I said to Mr. Floyd. I confided in Mr. Floyd about a personal issue and he gave me some advice, but then he went and told everything to my parents anyway. And now everything is ruined. They made me move class, they took my phone and... And they said I'm not allowed to talk to you anymore. Okay, wait. So Noah is assuming that Mr. Floyd told his parents everything? But what if he was just talking about the art thing? And that was enough for them to take off? And about August, that's just his parents' own interpretation? Maybe? Maybe not? I don't know. Not allowed to talk to you anymore. So stupid. So stupid. And everything is just a mess. Sorry, I should have told you earlier. It'll be okay. And don't worry about the message either, it's not your fault. I wanted to be in the same class as you. As me? I mean, I just like spending time with you. And Kane too, of course. I wish we could be in the same class too. Sorry, I don't want to make you feel even worse. Then I'll just move class as well. What? Are you serious? Well, I'll ask my dad if he can organize it or not. But either way, we can still hang out, right? You don't have to do that. I'm sure you have other friends in class apart from me. August shook his head and gave Noah his signature smile. I want to spend my time with you. But you don't find me annoying? As if August could read his mind, he smiled gently towards Noah. He paused. You and Kane showed me what it's like to have real friends. I don't want to lose that. Oh, right, Kane. Noah scratched at the back of his head awkwardly, annoyed at himself for jumping to conclusions. I'll tell him about the plan too. Yeah, probably a good idea. All of a sudden, August went quiet and he peered through the darkness towards Noah. Noah became as still as a statue, freezing up completely under his scrutinous eye. What? Did you use moisturizer? I just thought I'd try it, since you said it was good. Noah glanced away, filled with embarrassment, just in time to see a flash. In August's hand, a pink camera. He smiled from behind it as it printed out a picture. A picture of Noah. Did you just... I used the film we bought at the store together. See? What the... You should just throw that away. You don't need a picture of me. No chance. I think I want to hang it up in my room. If you're going to do that, then we should just take one together. We can do that, but I want to keep this one too. That's kind of embarrassing. Really? I like it. Whenever I feel lonely, looking at my photos makes me feel happier. You can just come see me instead. From behind him, Noah heard the sound of something being unlocked. With a feeling of dread in his stomach, he jumped back in his window. I think my mom's... Here, I gotta go. Good night. Good night, Noah. Sleep well. Noah's door swung open just as he managed to retreat back under his covers. His heart was still beating hard, so hard that it was almost painful. Because I nearly got caught? No, because I like August. A lot. I like him. You're in bed? I was going to bring you dinner. I'm not hungry. Fine. Straight home from school tomorrow. Do you understand? Can I stay at a friend's place this weekend? Noah's mother crossed his arms, obviously not impressed by his question. Which friend? She knows. If I say Kane's now, I'll just be in more trouble. August. Kane is coming too. No. You're not allowed over at his house, and you're grounded anyway. Good night, Noah. She shut the door behind her before Noah could even think of a response. Good night, Mom. Alone, as always. But on the other side of his window, someone that made him feel together. Oh, looks like we reached the end of the demo. Yeah, I was wondering how long it would go on. Before I started this, I was like, I'm usually having a look just how other people played it, not the contents, just how many hours they needed, just to get an idea of how many parts I will need for it. And I saw people ranging from like 3 to 5 hours, and I think for this one, a lot of it depended on how quickly you solve the puzzles in the dream. That can... Oh, Olaf, that's my name! What? Oh, that took me off guard. Hi, thank you. Yeah. Yeah, I was wondering how much longer it would go on for. Yeah, support the game on Kickstarter in August. It is planned to go live on 29th of August, actually, on Kickstarter. You can already like sign up on the page. What was it? Like you can register so that you will be notified or something. But yeah, what was I saying? I was saying, yeah, the length of the demo. Again, it's a long demo, like for a demo. It's quite a lot that we get here. And still no choices, actually, right? I think I mentioned this before, but well, on one hand, I find this surprising. I also understand if you want to, just tell the story how you want it to be told, and especially for this starting point where you establish the scene and where you obviously have all these scenes with August that are in the past, before current timeline. It makes sense to not have that many variables. Like it's the starting point. It's what all the story is based on is words. I mean, I think you get what I mean. So yeah, the full game will have the 3 love interests. So we will eventually have choices there. I'm not quite sure how they will do it with the decisions, but I don't think they are like fixed routes. like similarly to how Love Spell did it, where you just chose a route like after the prologue. I don't think that's it. I would assume there's just like regular choices, as you often have in visual novels. And then, of course, all these escape rooms in the dreams. Yeah. I am really looking forward to the full game. So far, I really like this. Art is beautiful, music is great, characters are interesting. Really interested to see more scenes with Crow and what that is all about. Yeah, I mean, we don't know much about him yet. Is he August? He obviously looks like him, but what is the connection exactly? Ivan, I don't know yet what to think about at all. So for now, the most we get to know really is Kane out of the love interests. So I would lean towards giving him a chance, but we'll see. We'll see how the full story evolves. I'm not sure yet if I'm going to play the full game on my channel when it comes out. It will be a while until it comes out anyway, but yeah, I mean, if this is the demo and you know other games from the devs like the Divine Speaker, you know that they make, like, if we're going by the Divine Speaker, that one's long. It's long. So I don't know if that really makes sense to do a full let's play on, but I was happy to do this demo here, and I hope you enjoyed as well. Please, as always, let me know your comments. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I will, of course, put a link to the demo and to the Kickstarter sign up. And yeah, for now, that's it from me. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time. Bye bye!